Microsoft currently commands a valuation exceeding $3 trillion. It is a figure built on shattered expectations and an aggressive pivot into artificial intelligence that has seen its market cap surge to historic levels. But despite this financial peak, CEO Satya Nadella is signaling that the internal status quo is breaking. In a recent memo to employees, he repositioned the entire company around security, quality, and a complete transformation into an AI-first organization. Nadella's memo argues that the rigid factory model, while responsible for their past success, lacks the architecture required to support an era of intelligence where software must constantly learn and adapt. For nearly half a century, that software factory was the industry's gold standard. It was a system designed to manufacture and ship static, proprietary code that users installed locally on their desks. The question is how a teenage Bill Gates convinced the world to adopt this manufacturing model, and why Microsoft is now moving to replace it. Understanding the future of computing requires looking back at the specific mechanical blueprint that allowed Microsoft to build a global monopoly in the first place. In the early 1970s, computing was a hardware-first business. The machines themselves were the expensive, guarded products, while the software that ran them was treated like public documentation, openly shared, modified, and traded among hobbyists for free. The Altair 8800 sparked a personal revolution, but to the average user, it was just an intimidating metal box of switches and lights. It lacked a simple, accessible way for people to actually talk to the machine. Bill Gates and Paul Allen recognized that the missing link was software. They spent 2 months at Harvard building a version of the basic programming language for the Altair, transforming the hobbyist kit into a functioning computer. Their new business immediately hit a wall. Because the culture of the 70s viewed software as a shared resource, people were copying Microsoft's basic code and passing it to their friends without paying for it. Gates responded with a 1976 open letter that became a manifesto for the modern industry. He argued that writing quality software required a professional staff and a significant investment, and he explicitly used the word stealing to describe the community's sharing habits. That letter established the foundational rule of the factory era. Software was now private, bankable property, and every copy of code required a direct financial transaction. This concept of code as property enabled Microsoft's defining move in 1980. IBM, the dominant force in business hardware, was rushing a personal computer to market and needed an operating system to drive it. Gates secured the rights to an existing operating system, modified it into MS-DOS, and delivered it to IBM. Crucially, he did not sell them the underlying source code. He only licensed